Going for a really long run, a bike ride, or cross-country skiing helps me get away from all the noise. I tell myself, the pain you're feeling, just enjoy it because it's going to help you across that finish line. First, if you're having a crap day, go for a run. It makes a big difference. The way I drive, the way I handle a car, is an expression of my inner feelings. You just need to be accepted for who you are and be proud of who you are, and that is what I'm trying to. I'm willing to take any amount of pain to win. I've accomplished more than I ever dreamed. But I'm hungry for more. When I was younger, all of my family's money went into racing. We were never a stylish family. We never went shopping, because all the money went into buying tires and fuel and all of that. When I was really young, I busted my nose when I was racing. The first thing my dad asked me was, "Are you okay?" I said, "Can you fix the car for tomorrow?" And I won the race the next day. I love my ink. They all have a meaning. I'm very strong in my faith, so I wanted to have some religious images. I've got Pietà, a Michelangelo sculpture of Mary holding Jesus after he came off the cross, on my shoulder. A Sacred Heart on my arm. Musical notes because I love music. The compass on my chest is there because church is my compass.
I don't believe I have a playboy life. I had a lot of racism growing up where I grew up, bullied at school. It definitely encouraged me. It's like battle wounds. You come out the other side, and it just makes you tougher. I'm no less focused than any of my peers. They live a different life. They go home, they are not pictured. At events, I train just as much as them, maybe more. If Ferrari wanted me, they would have approached me. I want to work with people who want me. If they don't want me, it is no problem. Racing is what I love, so it's pretty simple. I want to keep doing it and keep winning. You can knock me down, but I get up twice as strong. I feel like people are expecting me to fail. Therefore, I expect myself to win. It's important for everyone to stand up for what they believe in. Every lap is different. On my back, I have the cross and angel wings. Rise above it, no matter what life throws at you. And, also, Jesus rose from the grave. What people tend to forget is the journey that I had getting to Formula One. There were plenty of years where I had to learn about losing and having bad races. I have spent a lot of time in Italy throughout my career, especially when I was karting, because it's kind of the world center of that sport, and I love it. I don't think you can fully call yourself a vegan if you wear leathers. Everyone loves a winner. That's just how the world is. And Ayrton Senna was one of the greatest winners this sport has ever had. I like taking risks. I like trying new things, whether it be style or restaurants or whatever. All in all, racing with lift and coast is actually harder. When I first started in Formula One, I tried to ignore the fact I was the first black guy ever to race in the sport. But as I've got older, I've really started to appreciate the implications. My dad wanted me to have a better life than he had ever had. He wanted us to succeed so badly, and I never wanted to let him down. There have been some ups and downs. I've not always had it my own way. That's the way racing is supposed to be. I think every single win, every single pole has felt new and different in its own way. I've not got bored of it. Fashion is a growing love that probably started when I got into my 20s. I don't aspire to be like other drivers. I aspire to be unique in my own way. As a driver, you've always got to believe in your heart that you've got what it takes to win it. You've always got to believe in yourself. You've always got to arrive on the day and believe it can happen. You've always got to believe in the positives. I hate losing. It doesn't matter if it's racing or playing ping pong, I hate it. I want to crush everyone. I want to outsmart everyone. Nothing can really prepare you for when you get in the Formula One car. Knowing that you're driving a multi-million-dollar car, and if you crash it, it's going to cost a lot of money, and they might not give you another chance, is scary. It is open for anyone to have freedom of speech, and I guess we can all play a role in trying to make a difference in the world, particularly if your leader is not helping in that area. I enjoy trying to develop a car, and Mercedes are one of the biggest car manufacturers in the world. When I was a kid and Christmas was coming up, my dad would ask me what I wanted, and I always said a motorbike. I kept asking for one, and he said it was too dangerous and bought me a go-kart instead. My daily breakfast is 2 poached eggs in the morning with half an avocado, and I get to have half a piece of toast. Lots of other drivers like cycling, but I'm not so keen. I have some really cool bikes, but I'm just not in love with it like Jenson Button and Fernando Alonso. I relate my life a lot to Cool Runnings, the movie. I have so much energy. I train, I travel, I'm learning about music and fashion, reading a lot. I don't want to miss anything. I want to experience everything. There are times when you are growing through experiences, but sometimes there is a point of diminishing returns in terms of growth. I'm an extremist, so I'm either hated or loved. I think it's down to when I first got to Formula One, not always knowing what I was saying things that mean one thing but people were taking the other way, and then people don't forget. When you're driving on a normal track, you can see the breaking point from 500 miles away. Everyone has complicated lives, but the more you can simplify it and make it work for you, the better it is going to be. I usually sleep 4 or 5 hours, but when you are training, you need more than that. Formula One is about the best drivers competing against each other for the best teams producing the best cars they can. I have the best job in the world. I have always wanted to learn the piano, but because I travel so much, I can never get any consistency of lessons. So everywhere I go, if I can find a piano, even if it is in the lobby of a hotel or something, I go on YouTube and pick some songs to learn. People need to remember that I am the first black driver in F1, so I am obviously going to be different to past drivers. Number 1 is a great thing, and I'll always know that I'm number 1, but 44 is my favorite number. So I want to keep it on the car. I certainly lead a different life from many people. I have a great life that I am thankful for, and I like traveling. I don't drive by the seat of my pants and happen to win races. I work very hard to interpret the data and drive a certain way. My engineers have confidence in me, and more often than not, when I tell them what I need or what I am feeling with the car, it's right. Equalizing performance between teams runs completely counter to the idea of F1 and would be very unfair for us. Every person I have met who has gone vegan says it is the best decision they have ever made. Since I started driving in F1 in 2006-07, the cars have got slower and easier to drive. Tupac is my favorite artist, and he had mad style. Formula One is about running to the maximum. My immediate family are from the West Indies, from Trinidad and Grenada, and I have relatives all over the Caribbean. My job is to get into the car and drive as fast and as well as possible. I train to quite an intense level because Formula One is so physical. the G-forces, the demands on your body. Your heart rate is 150, 160 through the whole race. On qualifying lap, your heart rate can be up to 180, 190, under tough conditions. When you get out of the car after the feeling that you have after leading the race, and the car fails, it's pretty hard to say positive things all the time. I think my style is definitely urban chic. I love mixing street style with the high-end luxury brands, like Gucci, for example. Quite fun. I started watching Formula One with my dad when I was just 4 or 5 years old. I loved cars. I am a motorbike fanatic, always have been. It's actually what I wanted to do before I got into motor racing. Sometimes it takes time to find people in the sport who share the same opinions and approach to racing as me. Whether it's with my engineers in the team, my home life, or my friends, I don't like things to get complicated, and one good example would be the steering wheel in my Mercedes Formula One car. Couple of my mechanics have become vegan because I've done it. One of my barbers, too. I'm happy to race against anyone. I really like to play to squash, because it's competitive, and I like basketball. I'm friends with a guy in LA, called Andrew Bynum, who used to play for the LA Lakers NBA team. We play together, sometimes. Formula One is the sort of place where people tend to have an opinion about everything, and usually, they tend to believe their own opinion is the right one, even if it relates to someone else. I'm just super competitive. Squash, tennis, water skiing, computer games. Even if I played you at pool, I'd have to win. When I think about greatness, I just know Ayrton Senna. He was great. Each championship has felt different in its own way, I guess because I've been in different places of my life. I've gone through different things. It's a pretty cool feeling to be the person to knock down a barrier, just like the Williams sisters did in tennis or Tiger Woods in golf. People say I have an aggressive style, and sometimes I don't think that is all just me. I think it's partly because I watched Senna when I was young, and I thought, this is how I want to drive when I get the opportunity. When I was a kid, I used to play a game called Grand Prix 2. Interlagos was always the first race of the season on that, and I never really got much past the second race. I would always restart the season, so I always seemed to be doing Interlagos. It was a real pain. When I'm driving, the fewer distractions there are, the better it is to focus on the job in hand. It doesn't matter what famous person I've come across in the street. I don't think I've ever shouted. If I'd won every single race and got pole everywhere, that would just be boring. It would suck. Where's the fun in that? I'm keen on hiking. And in Monaco, I also like water skiing, wakeboarding, and jet skiing, which are all pretty good for your arms, legs, and core stability. If I don't travel, if I stay at home for a week, I would go out of my mind. That is just the way I am. I love to be on the move, and I am fortunate that I have friends all over the world. Racing is very physical. I love it in the States. The roads are big, the food is big. If it was possible to be in LA and still live my racing life, I would move now. The Hamilton name will live on way beyond me now, which I'm very happy to be a part of. Ayrton Senna was an incredible legend who will be remembered and admired forever. Despite the name, lift and coast does not mean cruising. You're trying to be as fast as you can, and you're still going through the corner on the limit, but you have to approach the corner slightly differently. Otherwise, you won't make the end of the race. I love all of the Marvel Comics movies. I'm definitely conscious of time. I already waste so much of it, just on a flight. I look back to when I was 13, and I wish I had stuck with my piano studies. Generally, I hate training. Just like most people, I guess. I try to make it fun and varied. We have to be extremely fit to race in F1. Ayrton Senna was my favorite driver who I wanted to be like. Sometimes, I arrive at races more energetic and clear-minded than ever, and then I have a terrible race. And the opposite is also true. I don't like to read fiction. I like to learn something when I'm reading. I would love to one day have my own line of clothes. Music's been a huge passion of mine since I was really young. I started playing guitar when I was 13. I get kids from all different cultures and nationalities coming up to me now, all wanting to be F1 drivers. They feel the sport is open to everyone. People might not know, but F1 drivers have new helmets made throughout the season. Usually, the design is the same, but I like to do something special for Monaco. You save most fuel by lifting and coasting in the heavy braking zones at the end of long straights into slow corners. I listen to music before every race. Generally, there will be a song I'll get into over the weekend, and I play it all weekend, particularly when I'm getting ready for a race. Working with kids is something I really enjoy doing. That's why I also do work with UNICEF. I feel equal to Mexicans, Asians, everyone. That's the kind of positive message I want to get out. I think it's a shame that people are so quick to put you in a box. Sometimes it's as if you do one thing, and that's all you're allowed to do. I started playing guitar when I was 13. I'd written a few songs on the guitar over some time. I'd written a book of poetry, and I got a book of lyrics that I had when I was a kid. I like wearing things that other people wouldn't want to wear, to be a bit edgy. It takes me forever to read a book. I have such a small attention span. I genuinely have always had support from all of my team. I have never had any complaints from them.